Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. It is an honor to be here with you guys. And it has been a few weeks since I last posted, and it's been a pretty exciting last few weeks, as a matter of fact. One thing I want to share with you guys is all of this material that I have been teaching actually literally manifested in my own life. I had a situation a few weeks ago where I had a house fire. My kitchen literally was burning from a oil fire that my daughter had been cooking. And unfortunately, she put oil on, I'm sorry, she put water on top of the oil, which made the fire get so big. And my husband and I thankfully came home in time and we were able to put the fire out. I had never seen so much smoke in my entire life, and it was definitely kind of a scary ordeal. But one thing that I'm most proud of is that I was able to stay calm and centered and really create a extraordinary outcome out of something that it could have been pretty traumatic. So during the process that I've been teaching the last several months of the problem structure and the creative structure, I really focused on what I wanted to create. And what I wanted to create out of chaos was harmony. I wanted to create a good outcome. I wanted to make sure that the insurance company gave me the check that I needed to take care of everything that was in my kitchen. I really wanted to have some money left over. You know how sometimes we can benefit from the insurance paying for damages, and then you can kind of finagle some of that stuff and get extra money at the end that you can use to maybe put in your savings or to pay some other bills or things of that nature. And thankfully, everything turned out wonderful. There was so much, I have so much gratitude for how it turned out because it was so seamless. It was like my insurance company sent me the perfect mitigation people that were friends of mine from a network group that I'm a member of. They showed up, took care of the damage, the fan, taking care of the smoke and things of that nature. And then right after that, the adjuster came, and the adjuster was actually really happy with the minimal damage that we were able to save because of the action that we took. The fact that we stayed so calm, we didn't panic, we were able to take some of the right action steps to be able to mitigate some of the fires. So at the end, we got the insurance check probably maybe 5 or 6 days after the incident, and it was super easy to deposit it in the bank. Everything cleared right on time, and we were able actually to use an interior decorator to decorate my kitchen, get a little bit of a mini upgrade. We were able to save some of my cabinets. There's no need to replace the cabinetry, which is probably the most expensive part of the job. But that's not all. One of the most amazing things I want to share is that the day after the fire, so we have been inconvenienced out of our kitchen because we don't have a microwave and the stove is pretty much trashed. So the only way that we could really cook is on a little new wave machine that I have that we can cook from on a pan or in a pot. You know, I can make some beans or I can make some chicken or some light meal. And it's a little bit inconvenient for a family of four. I never realized just how much I love my microwave when I actually lost it. So anyway, the day after, my husband and I own a company, and we went to go see one of our clients. And one of our clients told us that he was going to go to Orlando for the week. And he had asked us, when was the last time we went? And my husband and I are from Florida. And I believe the last time we went to Orlando was last year when we went to Universal Studios and had a little bit of a family vacation. And it's one of our favorite spots. And he made a comment and said, well, I'm unable to make it. And I've got a Disney resort, 5 days, already paid for because he's a member of the Disney Vacation Club. And he wanted to give it to us. And I thought, oh my goodness, are you serious? And he was leaving like 2 days after he was giving me the gift. So he was like on a Monday, and he said, well, it's from Wednesday to Sunday, which means I would have to pull my kids out of school. I've got a business that I run. I would have to change a bunch of things of my schedule. And of course, there's a financial component that we also had to think about. But then all I could think about is, oh my goodness, it's the gift, a free Disney resort. We were able to stay at the Riviera Resort. We had a suite with a kitchen and enough space for 5 people in the room. There were four of us, and 5 people could sleep comfortably in there. And we just had a delightful time. I told myself, you know what, we're gonna do it. We are totally gonna do it. We're gonna take it. So we were able to have a vacation in the middle of chaos and really enjoy ourselves. We decided to stay on property and just really have the time of our lives. It was so relaxing to have some family time. And we even cooked inside the kitchen. And there was one time the hallway smelled like hamburgers. As I came off the elevator, I was like, oh dear, this whole hallway smells like, food. But I didn't care. And I'm like, you know what? This is an awesome vacation for us. We didn't really want to eat out, not so much to spend the money. I mean, obviously we could save some money, but the real reason why we didn't want to go out to eat so much is because, we pack on some pounds if you're going out to eat all the time. So we decided to go shopping, grocery shopping instead, and just kind of cook for the family. And we just spent some time there at the resort. So I got a Disney vacation out of it, y'all, out of the fire. And all of this was created because of what I'm teaching, what I am doing. I made sure that I stayed focused on the end result of what it was I was trying to create. So whenever you're experiencing chaos, you have a choice. You can either react to it in panic, or you can accept it and decide, how do I want to take this? And the more calm you are, and the more in control you are of your emotion, the much better things work out. I mean, I can't tell you how, I don't know how differently it would have worked out or how much better it could have worked out had had I not done what I've done, it could have been so much worse. I mean, I know so many nightmare stories of what, people have gone through, checks not coming in from the insurance, or, people not showing up to do the work to fix your kitchen. And so anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys because it's a very, very powerful example of how much we can control the outcome of our lives simply by focusing on the end result of the emotion that you wish to experience. And I wanted to experience happiness in the middle of the chaos. And because I experienced the happiness, I was able to get so much more out of it. And so anyway, it's an honor to share this with you guys. And I just wanted to share that with you because it's such a beautiful story. And I am so humbly grateful for everything that is happening in my own life. And of course, it's quite an honor to share this work with you guys. So anyone that's interested or wants to apply this work, it works, you guys. It really works. I'm not doing this just because it's for any other reason than sheer joy, because I want as many people to experience what I'm experiencing in my own life. I want as many people as possible to really get to taste abundance, joy, happiness, all the wonderful things that can really truly happen to you when you get control of your own emotions and when you change your focus into directing it more into a more positive way instead of living by default, which in my opinion is probably the worst way to live. When you live on purpose and you really and truly create, magical things can happen. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to the presentation. And we are on right now, we are on part 3 of a 4-part series titled Living the Core Four. And I have done parts 1 and 2. They're on my YouTube channel. If you have not seen it already, feel free to go and put that up on my channel. You'll really enjoy it, I feel. The first one is being the predominant creator of your life. The second one is living a life I love. And the third part tonight, we're going to be going over choosing to be healthy and vital. And then the last part I will record for next week, which is going to be your true nature and purpose. And the whole purpose of this core 4 is just something that I have been working on myself for the last 12 months. When you orient your body into a new way of being, you're able to have your unconscious mind give you more ideas and more helpful ways to create what you really want instead of fighting you and giving you fear and filling you with all kinds of anxiety, which was pretty much the bulk of my life before I started doing this work. When you're able to focus on getting your body attuned to a certain way, such as living a life I love. When you're living a life that you love, your body is already in that vibration of love. You're already in the frequency of love. So you're able to create a lot more because that's what you're thinking about. You get what you think about whether you like it or not. And with that being the case, it quite amazing when you train yourself to think about the things that you want. And living a life of love is something that we all want, right? We all love an essence of our being. And so living a life that we love is exactly what we came here to do. And then being a predominant creator. Now, being a predominant creator is the first step, in my opinion, of the whole four, because you cannot create anything until you are the predominant creator that's creating what you want in your life. And what being the predominant creator is exactly what I did when I had the house fire, where I was creating my emotion, I was creating what I wanted to feel, and your emotion are what drives the outcome. If you are panicking, the outcome is not going to be as pleasant because your energy field that you are churning is pretty unpleasant for the body. Panic is not something that we enjoy too much, right? So when you are the predominant creator and you say, okay, I understand and I accept the situation, and instead of panicking, I am going to relax. Everything's going to be okay. And I want to say, how can I change this outcome to what I really want to create? And it's all about the emotion. It's not about the outside, changing outside of what's going to happen. It's all about inside. So you change inside to say, how do I feel? Okay. And if you don't like how you feel, you can change it. That's the whole point of the predominant creator. Until now, choosing to be healthy and vital is the third part, because how are you going to have the energy to be the predominant creator, to create a life you love, if you don't have the energy, right? You got to be healthy and vital. You got to have a healthy and vital body to be able to create all of the things that you want. So without further ado, I'm going to start the presentation, share my screen here. Perfect. All right, living the core four, choosing to be healthy and vital. And before I start every presentation, I always ask the question, what is consciousness? And consciousness is simply one word, which is awareness. It's your focus. But most people are not focused on what they think they're focused on. And that's one thing I want you to kind of keep on the back burner of your mind, and really think about that for a second, because what you are aware of consciously may not exactly be what you're really aware of or what you're really focusing on. And then we're going to go over more of that in the presentation. But a really good example would be, for example, if you want more money and you decide to go get a job, you think that you're focusing on getting a job, when in reality, you're focused on the fact that you don't have enough money. And that's where the whole problem structure comes in, we're going to talk about. Now, as we dive into consciousness, there are three aspects of consciousness that you need to be aware of. And the three aspects are your superconscious, your ego, and your unconscious. This makes it super simple. There are other modalities online or other educational materials that separate they go further, like Freud actually goes further into the unconscious and the ego, and he separates them into different terms. But for the simplicity of it, we choose to describe it in these three ways. And we're going to start with the superconscious, which is your higher self. Your superconscious is like the God within, your higher self, and infinite intelligence, those kinds of terms. And the only thing that the superconscious is interested in is the human experience. It's only interested in what you are experiencing, and it does not apply judgment, good or bad. You could be sad, you could be experiencing a sad moment, such as grief, and the superconscious is happy to experience it. You could be experiencing a wonderful moment such as bliss, and the superconscious is just as excited to experience bliss. It's only here for the experience. Then we move on to the ego, and the ego is a term that a lot of people don't really understand yet. There's a lot of science that's coming out behind it, but basically, your ego is your thinking mind, and it's only determined. It only cares about your quality of life. This is the part of you that want to have a new car or a new relationship. Maybe you want a family. Whatever your desires are that you believe will better your life or benefit your life, that's your ego that's giving you those suggestions. When you wake up in the morning, the first thought that comes to your mind, those are your ego thoughts. Your soul, your higher self does not think. It works on impulses. So whenever you have a thought, just know that thoughts come from ego. Then you have your unconscious, and your unconscious has only one job and one job only, and that is to keep us safe. And I'm going to stop my share here for a moment so we can talk about the unconscious mind. So the unconscious mind job, again, is just to keep us safe. That's the only job it has. Now, in your mind, the unconscious makes up 95% of all of what's going on in your mind. And your thought, the ones that you consciously are aware of, only make up 5%. That's a pretty hefty difference, isn't it? You're only aware of 5% of your thought, but you're thinking 95% on subconscious is invisible. So if you have invisible thought, that's a pretty big deal because you're not really aware of what's going on until something happens or something manifests or you get an emotion. And an emotion is simply a thought that has manifested into energy. It's given it a charge. So your unconscious mind is its only job is to keep us safe, which means anything that you have survived up until this point is safe because you survived it. And this is where the interesting part comes in because if you survived scarcity, for example, as a child, let's say that your parents didn't have a lot of money. Since you experienced that as a child, the unconscious says, oh, it's uncomfortable, but we don't care because we survived it. So it's going to keep creating experiences of scarcity in your adult life because you survived it as a child. And then when you go to change it, or when you decide that you want abundance, here's what happens. Your unconscious mind is the one that throws up all of the feelings of panic, of anxiety, maybe depression, maybe anger, frustration, overwhelm, stress. All of that comes from the unconscious mind because it thinks that you're going to die. You're doing something that's different than what it wants you to do. It wants you to stay the same. It wants you to be safe. And it's a very interesting component of the consciousness that you need to be aware of because a lot of what's running our system is not the thinking mind, it's the unconscious. It's the unconscious that's really working hard to keep us safe. So part of the work that we do when it comes to visualization and things like that, the whole purpose is to train the unconscious to let them know that it's okay, that you're not going to die if you have a lot of money. It's kind of silly when you think about it, but that's kind of how it works. All right. So before you make any decision, do you visualize the end result and experience the emotion of having it? Now, I want you to think about this for a second. For example, if you've been following me for a while, you most likely do this. And if you've been following me for a while and you haven't done this, then I want you to really look at your life and see how things are working out for you. Because if things are not working out for you, this may be the reason why. Because if you're not visualizing before you make a decision, if you're not visualizing the end result of how you'd like to feel, then you are 100% of the problem structure. And the problem structure is something you really don't want to be because the problem structure is this. You're in a current reality, so you have an issue. You have a problem that you've identified. Your health challenge, exhaustion, anxiety, lethargic, burnout, stress, so on and so forth. It's something that you want to change. You've identified an issue and you want it to change. But then what happens is when you make the decision that you want to change it, your focus is on the problem because you decided this is the problem and I want to change it. I want to fix it. So you start walking to the solution, which is to be healthy, passionate, joyful, vital, abundant, fun, so on and so forth. But when you start walking to get to where you want to go, you can't fully get there. You're like this guy that goes part of the way where you get a job that you say, oh, the job doesn't pay enough money. You still don't have enough money. Then you decide I need to get a promotion. So you get a promotion and you work so hard that, yeah, I'm getting this promotion, I'm making great money. And then you decide, oh, I don't have enough money. So you know what, I got to do something different. Let me start a business. Then you start a business. And then you get in there, you start getting clients, you start growing, everything's good. And oh man, I don't have enough. Yeah, I need to do something else. And you're never satisfied. You're never going to be satisfied. And here's another example. The people in January, there's a lot of people in January that decide that they want to go to the gym, right? They say, you know what? I have these, oh, I didn't even share the screen. My bad, guys. So anyways, so this is the guy that I was telling you about, so from the current reality to the desired reality. So the gym. When people go to the gym in January, You know what's really crazy about this is that they get all, pumped up and they say, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out and I'm going to lose all this weight and I'm going to get buff and I'm going to look great. Well, what happened then in February? Have you been to the gyms lately? They're not nearly as packed as they were in January. Why? Because they're like this little guy. They went back and they decided, for whatever reason, oh, I'm going to start eating, or I'm not seeing results fast enough, or whatever the case may be. They weren't satisfied. Yeah. So that's what happened. The focus is on the issue or the circumstance which to change. Your conscious awareness is on lack. Your conscious awareness on the issue, the problem that you're wanting to change. So all of the ideas that you're getting are going to keep you right where you are. You're going to move forward a little bit. You're going to think that you're making progress, but because the unconscious wants to keep you safe, the unconscious said, no, we're going to take you back. And then you're right back where you started. You never fully reach the goal. And then you hear this all over the place. Focus on the solution, not the problem. And this is wrong. This is wrong. And this is what I actually follow this, you guys. I focus on the solution all the time. I was a big believer in that. Focus on the solution, yeah. But here's the issue. A solution cannot exist without a problem. It's impossible because a problem gave birth to a solution. So in essence, what you are doing is you're telling the body that you need problem to solve. And a solution is only a temporary feel-good path to the next problem. You know what happens when you have a problem? You look for the idea to fix it or to solve it, right? And what happens when you solve it? It feels good, right? Oh, I solved the problem. Yeah, I got the solution. But then it's temporary. It doesn't last. So then what happens? Your body says, okay, in order for us to get that same feeling, I got to go find another problem. So you got to find another problem to solve. And then you're in a back and forth, you're in this oscillating structure where you go to problem, solution, and you're not gaining any traction. And then you wonder why years later, you're still not where you want to be. Big problem structure, you guys. The problem structure is where you do not want to be. So you get it. So what do? You must learn to be in the creative structure. And the example that I gave you at the beginning of this presentation with the fire, and I created the end result of having a seamless, smooth transaction. I accepted the fire for what it was. We put the fire out. We made sure that we wanted to, the best outcome that came out. I was satisfied with the now. I was satisfied with what was happening. So even though there was a fire, and it's definitely not something that I wanted, I was okay with it because there's nothing I can do. I can't change it. I can't go back into the past and stop the fire from happening. Whatever's happening in the now is already happening. So I had to make sure that I accepted it. I was at peace. It is what it is. That's my favorite affirmation. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do, just accept it and move on. So once you have your body in that state, you're calm, you're peaceful, it is what it is, and you decide, I want to experience this instead. So I wanted to experience joy. I wanted to experience a good outcome. I wanted to experience, something that would resonate with me and make me feel better instead of making me feel worse and have to go through the challenging aspect of it. And so here's the key. The whole time I had to be it to see it. If I wanted to have a great outcome, if I wanted to have the benefit that came from a disaster. So whatever happens in a disaster, there's some good that can come out of it, but you have to be focused on it. So I ended up with a savings. I ended up netting a saving from the check from my insurance company, which is exactly what I wanted to create. And in order to do that, I had to make sure in my mind that my resonance, my vibration matched that future me. So right now, this future me, the person right now that's sitting in front of you guys, this is the result of the past me that was creating in the middle of a fire. I created me by imagining myself in the future and visualizing how I wanted to feel. And I can tell you guys, I feel great right now. I really do, because everything's working out perfect. I got a vacation. That was so unexpected. And that's the beautiful thing, because when you visualize, you're not visualizing the how. The only thing you visualize is the end result. How do you want to feel? And you make sure that you have that feeling in the now. So I'm the same person as I was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, when I had a fire, I'm the same person. I don't feel any different. I'm just as happy. I'm just satisfied. I'm satisfied with the outcome. I could have been miserable. I could have chosen a different way to be, but I decided that I wanted to be abundant, which is exactly what I am experiencing right now in my life. And I decided I wanted to be happy and be joyful. And I got a vacation out of it, which was phenomenal. Okay, so that's the key that you guys need to remember. Whatever you are in this moment, you are creating the future. You're creating the future you. So however you are in this moment, it's going to be duplicated. That's how it's working whenever you repeat the past. That's what it means. Because if you stay in the past in your mind, you're in the problem structure. You're looking back. We don't want to look back. We want to look forward. All right, so going into the core four choices, before you become a true creator and experience the magical moments like what I went through with the fire that I experienced, you have to first choose the four core choices to orient your body into a new way of being. So for the last 12 months, I have been visualizing these four core choices: living the life I love, being a predominant creator, being healthy and vital, and choosing my true nature and purpose. Every day, I work on at least one of those four things. And I've been doing it for the last 12 months. So I'm able to sit in front of you guys now and share experiences with you that I'm able to experience because I've oriented my body into this new way of being. It's the new baseline. And from here, you can create some truly magical stuff. So once you consistently live in these core four choices, then you can really tune in what you would love to create. So right now, I'm creating a lot of amazing things. I'm becoming a speaker. I've gotten some great clients. I am creating a book. I'm doing a lot of things with my life that's pretty exciting. And again, these are the core four choices. You choose to live a life you love. You choose to live your true nature and purpose. You choose to be the predominant creative force in your life. And you choose to be healthy and vital. If you can choose those four and visualize yourself, the end result of living those core four choices, your life will change. I promise you. This is some pretty amazing stuff, you guys. All right, so let's go on to this core choice, choosing to be healthy and vital. We're going to kick stress and anxiety in the keister. So what is disease really? I want to ask you guys. Some of you guys might know this already, but if you don't, I have a question. What is disease? What is it really? If you break it down, it becomes dis-ease. Disease is nothing more than a body not at ease. And what does a body not at ease mean? What does a body not at ease mean to you? Well, it could be something as simple as a cold. It could be something a little bit more challenging. Could be some of the harsher diseases that show up and manifest in the body, like tumors and cancers and really unpleasant things. But whenever you put your body through stress, whether you are experiencing frustration, anger, overwhelmment, any of those negative emotions, you're putting your body through stress. These are not natural states of being. And when you are thinking thoughts that create these kind of frequencies, an emotion is a frequency, a thought is a frequency. So when you think in a thought over and over and over again, it becomes a belief. And that belief turns into an emotion because the belief brings the experience. So if you believe a certain thing, that's an emotional charge that brings an experience. And that experience is what makes you experience the emotion. So you believe it. You believe your belief, so to speak. It reinforces the belief. And so then when I keep reinforcing that belief and you do that over and over again, that's what creates dis-ease in your body. It can manifest into some really terrible stuff. So that's something that you really want to be aware of. Your thought manifests. Your thought manifests. This is something that you need to be aware of. Everything is always created twice in this universe, on Earth, on our lives, and the way that we live, it's created twice. It's a fact. This is not some woo-woo science that I'm teaching you guys. This is a fact. It's proven. And how is it proven? Well, we've got light. Look at the light bulb. Because before the light bulb, they used fire. So how did the light bulb even come into existence? Well, it came into existence because the guy that invented the light bulb, Edison, had a thought. I want to have more light. I want to do something different. He had an idea, and then he worked toward that idea, and then it manifested light. Everything starts with a thought, everything. And when it comes as a thought, and then it manifests, every single thing shows up in the body. It shows up. Any kind of dis-ease is a manifestation from thought that are showing up in your body to get your attention. It's saying, hey, we need to do something different. This is not working. It's supposed to wake you up. It's not supposed to panic you. It's not supposed to make you feel bad or feel different. It's supposed to wake you up to make different choices. And these are some examples of thought that create diseases in the body. Anxiety is one of the most common. And I don't know if you guys know this, but anxiety is thinking too many thoughts of the future. You are too much in the future, but your body's like, whoa, wait a second. You're creating fear. You're scaring the heck out of yourself because you don't know what's going to happen or what's going to do it. And it's your thought that's creating all of that. Depression is on the other side. Depression is thinking too many thoughts of the past. And cold. This is something really interesting because when you get a cold, everyone thinks that you picked it up from somebody. But I want to challenge that thought, that belief, because there are people, including myself, that can be in a room with sick people, people with cold, people with contagious diseases, and not pick up anything. So how did that work? For example, during COVID, there were some people that got COVID, and there were others that were quote unquote asymptomatic. And you might think, well, the people that are asymptomatic, they were born that way. No, it's not at all. Maybe in some people, but the majority of it is the fact that they're not thinking thought of overwhelm that's attracting that kind of frequency. These diseases are only attracted to a certain frequency. And when you think thoughts that are at the low vibrational scale, you are attracting different frequencies of disease in the body. And it's a very fascinating subject, and it's so interesting. And a lot has happened in my life that I was able to correlate the same exact stuff, and I can tell you, the stuff is legit. It's mind-blowing. And as a matter of fact, the biggest thing that I want to share with you guys, this is the biggest thing, because out of all this list that I just showed you, would you believe that deafness is actually a pattern that comes from thoughts of anger and stubbornness. Those are the mental thought patterns that create deafness. And I'm an individual that used to have 98% hearing loss. I was born with 98% hearing loss. I wear hearing aids and I lip read to be able to communicate. And now I've spent years and years perfecting my speech to hide my disability because I didn't want anyone to know my condition. And that's a story for another day. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I discovered if there's a thought pattern that created it, couldn't it be reversed? And as I started researching, incurable diseases cannot be cured from autoimmune. You have to go within to cure it. And deafness, as you know, is an incurable disease. There's absolutely nothing out there that will ever restore hearing loss. So it set me on a pattern of thinking differently and wondering, oh my goodness, can I reverse my hearing loss? Is this something that I can have? Would I be able to have my hearing? That's my biggest desire in this world, is to be able to hear naturally like everyone else in this world. And I have to tell you, in the last 6 months that I've been doing this work, focusing on the creative structure, my hearing loss has reversed. I am experiencing right now, I used to have 2% hearing loss. Now I'm able to, I have, 2% hearing, 98% loss. Now I have about 11% hearing, which makes it 89% loss. I've improved it, and I have tests that are able to show the difference. It's mind-boggling. The stuff really works. And I've applied it in my own life, and it's remarkable what's happening. I mean, reversing hearing loss, you guys, it's pretty amazing. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, pick up the book. Louise Hay is the author, Heal Your Body. It's called The Mental Causes for Physical Illness and the Metaphysical Way to Overcome Them. Fabulous book, so enlightening. It will totally change your life, and I highly recommend that you pick it up. All right. I want you to be aware. Every time you make a choice, you are either choosing health or you're choosing sickness. You need to be aware of that. Nothing ever happens by accident. There are no accidents in this universe. We are creators of our own reality. And when we accept that and we start applying it and we start making choices and we accept it, we can truly make a difference in our lives. Everything happens by choice, either 5% consciously or 95% unconsciously, but it can be changed. It can be changed. And the choice is yours. So how healthy are you? And this is just a quick little checklist of an outside health. And this is just very simple. You can find this online. You know, do you move your body daily? Do you journal gratitude daily? So on and so forth. So what you really need to think about to be healthy and vital is your physical vitality, exercise, and healthy eating, but also your mental vitality, your mental health. And mental health is something that's so important that a lot of people neglect. And mental health is something very simple. It could be self-care, going out in nature, going for a walk, hanging out with friends, doing something you really enjoy. If you answer no to any of those questions, be aware that you are choosing to create this ease. Every time that you have the idea to go to the gym or do some exercise and you say, no, I'm not going to do it, be aware that no action is still taking an action, and you are creating this ease in your body. Now, question, what does vitality mean to you? And this is very interesting because a lot of people confuse health versus vitality. Health is simply a state of being free from illness or injury. It's an outside, an outer mean. Vitality is living in a state of exuberance. It's more inner emotion, liveliness, a passion for the things that you are doing. Vitality is when you are just craving life and you're just really enjoying everything that you are doing and the people that you're doing it with. That's what vitality is. Because you got to be able to include both components of healthy living and vitality as well, which is emotional. So these are symptoms of low vitality because some people, some of my clients have asked me, how would I know how vital I am? And the best way to do it is to look at your life. And if you are experiencing some of these symptoms, then you are most likely dealing with low vitality. So lack of energy, difficulty sleeping, issues with whole body health, problems achieving weight loss, dehydration, stress, libido issues, so on and so forth. These are all symptoms of low vitality. So after seeing this presentation, you might be itching to take action. Yes, you know what? I got it, Nicole. I want to go do it. But then I'm going to caution you and say, wait, just wait. Because right now, you need to check the structure that you're in. Are you in the problem structure? I don't have health and vitality. I need to do something. That's a problem structure. Right over here, just like with Nemo, we won't have any more problems from here on out. They jump out with the bag into the ocean. They're still in the bag. They're creating more problems. They've got to get into the creative structure. And how do we do that? So I've just given you a presentation through choosing health and vitality. And the way to do it is you're choosing to be healthy and vital just because you love it. Just because you love it. You love the way it feels. You love to look good. You love to be, a fit. You love to be however it is. You just love that feeling. You're okay with being how you are now. It's not a problem. And that's one thing you've got to make sure that you grasp it, that it's not a problem. You're satisfied. It's just an experience that you're satisfied with. And you want to try something different. So this is what choosing to be healthy and vital really means. This is the kind of change that you got to make in your life. You balance your work life. You balance your life. Healthy food, water, physical activity, work, and play. You make time for fun and laugh often. You live in the end result, not the middle, not the processes. So even as you're doing the processes that you don't necessarily like, your mind is still living the end result. You're remembering, I'm doing this because I love to feel joyful. I love to create. So you're enjoying the process. You spend time in nature. Nature is very healing. You practice self-care. You follow your passion. You learn to breathe. Breathing is one of the most amazing things that we can do because without our breath, we wouldn't even be alive. And when you learn to focus on your breath, it's just really amazing because it really offers your body a chance to be calm and peaceful. And you can really control your emotion when you control your breath. All right. So now we're going to do a quick little visualization exercise to get you guys to be choosing healthy and vital. And I would like for you to find a comfortable spot and feel free to close your eyes or keep them open. I recommend that you keep them closed so you're able to focus on your body. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you're breathing, I want you to focus on relaxing your body. I want you to set the intention that you're going to completely and totally relax. And as you're relaxing, I want you to focus on your breath. There's nothing you need to do about your breath. Just observe. Observe the air going into your lungs, filling your body. And as you exhale, feel all of the negative tension just going out. And as you're breathing, I want you to move your focus onto your body. Notice how your body feels. Start at the top of your head and imagine a warm towel wrapped around your head and relax all of the muscle that's on your head. And feel the warmth on your skin. It's very relaxing. And we're going to move on down to the face, and you're going to relax your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears. Release all of the tension. Then move on down to your neck. Relax the neck. And your shoulders. Down to your chest. Moving on down to your waist. Relaxing the arms, the hands, the fingers. And relaxing your thighs. Relax your knees, your calf muscles, everything is totally relaxed. And as you're relaxing, I want you to find a time in the future where you are completely healthy and vital. And I want you to step into the end result of the emotion that you would feel. You are completely healthy and vital. You're already there. And as you're in that end result, I want you to notice, what are you doing? You're already healthy and vital. What kind of thoughts are you thinking to yourself? What emotion is bubbling up right now? Notice, where are you feeling it in your body? Take note of the emotion. You are living a life healthy and vital. Who are you doing it with? You're already healthy and vital. What would you do in the morning? What would you wake up and do? Really experience the emotion of how it would feel. You're already healthy and vital and living your best life. Really breathe it in. And after feeling this emotion, I want you to take note of the emotion. Breathe it in. And now we're going to choose it. I want you to choose to live a life that is healthy and vital. You are choosing to be healthy and vital. And I want you to repeat it out loud or to yourself. I choose to be healthy and vital. I choose to be healthy and vital. I choose to be healthy and vital. You are choosing to live with health and vitality. But I want you to breathe in this emotion. And when you're ready, come on back and open your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there, it concludes our presentation. I really hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation. Be healthy and vital. That visualization process, you can use of any of the four choices. You just replace them. The living a life I love, predominant creative, or healthy and vital. And if you've enjoyed tonight's presentation, please join me on Meetup on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We'll be doing it next week. And those are my channels. And you can also email me a question or follow me on Instagram. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like to my channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening.